Coming up on today's LOAM, we reflect on what makes today's events just so special.
An interview with Kate Barker.
And a look at some of the Army's newest technology. Stay tuned.
Lake Orion. Today is Friday, January 17th. I'm Dustin Freeman.
And I'm Kobe Manzo. This is LOAM. We're coming to you live from the auditorium today, where behind us there are over 1,000 phones as Lake Orion High School students go without them for the entire day to support Cell Phones for Soldiers. Today is our 6th annual sellout event, and the leadership class from Lake Orion makes a $1 donation for every student that gives up their phone for the day. Teddy Hirschfield tells us more about how the event got started 6 years ago, back in 2015.
Today is Leadership's 6th annual Sellout for Soldiers, in which students give up their phones for a day, and Leadership donates $1 per phone collected to a charity known as Cell Phones for Soldiers. This was founded by Robbie Berquist and his sister at ages 12 and 13.
So a couple of years ago, Mr. Kirk Weber and I went to our administration and said, wouldn't it be neat if we could get kids to give up their phones for the day to talk to each other during lunches? The idea kind of grew organically out of that, where we came up with this concept of, what if we challenged the seniors to give up their phones for a day, and if the seniors did it, the juniors did it. If the juniors and seniors did it, so would our underclassmen, our sophomores and freshmen. So it kind of started there.
When Leadership started Sellout, they expected roughly 500 phones, but they were able to get 1,000 phones to be turned in. In the past 5 years, Leadership has raised over $15,000 from Sellout.
I would argue to say we are the largest supporter of Cell Phones for Soldiers, and we know that every single time we donate $5 or more, a serviceman or woman is getting over 250 talk minutes for their family.
Leadership is happy with this year's participation and plans on continuing this event for many years to come. For WDBC, I'm Teddy Hirschfield.
Sellout is a big deal at LOHS. According to the leadership class, Lake Orion is the only high school in the nation that successfully runs an event like Sellout and continues to do so. This is just one of the reasons why Lake Orion High School is so unique.
Today, Hannah is here with special guest Kate Barker, President of Leadership. They give us an inside look at Sellout. Now over to Hannah.
Hey everyone, I'm here with President Head of Leadership, Kate Barker. How you feel today, Kate?
I'm feeling fantastic.
All right, why don't you tell us what has happened since the last time we saw our phones?
So after you turned in your phones, we took all the phones in the bubble bags into the auditorium lobby, where we separated them out by a 4th hour teacher and made sure they were all accounted for.
All right, thank you. Now describe the point of Sellout. Why do we do this?
So we do Sellout to raise money for the charity Cell Phones for Soldiers, which donate talk minutes and cell phones to soldiers serving overseas.
All right, and now can you explain how we'll get our phones back?
So toward the end of 4B, we'll be bringing a box with your teacher's name on it and all the phones from your class, and you'll get them back just the way you left them.
All right, I hope that answered all your questions. Thank you for being here with me today, Kate. For WDBC, I'm Hannah Mahalik.
Thank you, Kate and Hannah. Coming up later, we'll introduce you to the co-founder of Cell Phones for Soldiers charity. In other news, today is the day that you can adopt your very own mouse. The science department has mice that are ready for adoption. If you would like to adopt a new furry friend, come by G708 Science Lab. That is where Mr. Stowers will be distributing the critters. Bring a container to transport your new friend. First come, first serve until they are gone.
Rolling into LOHS on Tuesday, representatives from the U.S. Army brought about a new way to interact with students interested in the fields of STEM. I was there to catch the briefing on some of the Army's newest technology.
Welcome to the Army Interactive Experience, brought to you today at Lake Orion High School on an 18-wheel tractor trailer that is self-contained and climate-controlled.
The truck supports weights of up to 30 tons and features interactive touchscreens and videos that visitors use to go through the 3 different rooms in the trailer.
So we brought the STEM truck today: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. There's 3 stations in the truck. The first station tells you about all the different things the Army is taking upon to help the world with our mechanics, robotics, different things. The second station gives you a brief on the mission that you're going to be ongoing And then the last station lets you actually take control of a robot that actually saves a biochemistry lab. It's all virtual, it's not real, but it puts you through the scenario of what the robot is capable of.
I asked Staff Sergeant Ramirez about the opportunities that the Army can provide through the fields of STEM and other areas of study.
So the Army is very broad in those different kinds of aspects. We have over 162 jobs. We have our own robotics section. We have our own technology section. We're trying to learn more. We're trying to broaden our horizons on different kinds of things. We opened up a cybersecurity section this past year. So, I mean, plenty more jobs for people to come through, get benefits, and change their lives and change the world.
After taking on the interactive experience, participants learned a lot about the fields of STEM and how they interact within the Army and the jobs offered. If you'd like to discuss future opportunities within the U.S. Army or other armed forces, a couple representatives from the Army will be around the school today to answer any questions. For WDBC, I'm Kobe Manzo.
Participants of the interactive experience learned a lot about the job opportunities that are available within the Army. And they also had a good time.
Tonight, the Thespian Troupe puts on their annual dinner theater performance. This year, they perform Check Please by Jonathan Rand and Halfway Things. This performance is written by Lake Orion very own Jake Jor. Tickets are $25 in advance and $30 at the door. Doors open tonight at 7 p.m. Now let's throw it over to sports with Delaney Lucas.
Coming up on today's sports report, highlights from today's Community Heroes volleyball game. Stay tuned. The first ever Community Heroes volleyball game took place earlier today during the Sellout Pep Assembly. All of LOHS gathered in the Fieldhouse to watch 3 exhibition volleyball games. The match featured area heroes including police, fire, and armed service members. Students and staff were also mixed into the teams.
I think there was great student participation. The students played really well. The staff played really well. The heroes played really well. I think it was a good assembly, good music. Overall, good experience. I think we're going to do it next year too, and a few more times next year. So
Amazing. Amazing.
felt like I was back in high school.
Yeah, the atmosphere, the student participation, the organization, breathtaking. The best morning I've spent in a very long time. I think it's important that as you guys grow up, or the students grow up, that they realize that, like, you know, we have it a lot better off than most nations. So having us come out here and talk to you guys and hang out with you guys helps us feel like we're back home.
The staff, the students, they were so supportive. I haven't seen a school like this before, and it warms my heart. It really does.
Leadership hopes to continue this tradition as part of the Sellout festivities in upcoming years. The freshman boys basketball team picked up its 3rd straight win last night when they beat Farmington 33-31. Steven Jakubowski led the Dragons with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. Henry Peterson scored 9 points, and Jeremy Parks had 8. Earlier in the week, the freshman boys squared off against Notre Dame Prep. Giuseppe Pryor has the highlights.
Freshman Dragons basketball team took on Notre Dame Prep this Tuesday for their 6th game of the season. The Dragons started off strong with the first basket and took the lead in the first half of the match with a score of 18-15. However, the Fighting Irish increased their intensity and managed to tie up the score, bringing the match into overtime, 28-28. The Dragons regrouped and came together to take the win in the final moments of the game, with a final score of 35-30. We spoke to player Jamari Wiggins to hear more about the game.
I think that we did really good this game, like moving the ball around and just like giving everybody the ball. Season's going pretty good. With that win, that makes us 4-2. So I'm happy for the rest of the season. We won in overtime, and I'm very proud that we did.
For WDBC, I'm Giuseppe Pryor.
The freshman boys basketball team now has a record of 5 wins and 2 losses. Their next game is Thursday when they host Oxford. The boys varsity basketball team hosted Notre Dame Prep on Tuesday. Adam Strader was there to catch the action.
Lake Orion boys varsity basketball team hosted Notre Dame Prep on Tuesday night. Notre Dame Prep had an early lead until Lake Orion senior guard Cam Sutton made a 3 to give Lake Orion the lead, 5-3. But Notre Dame Prep ended the quarter up 8-7. The second quarter was a completely different story as Lake Orion began to score the ball. Lake Orion's young sophomore guard, Alden Ritt, led the way in scoring for the Dragons, scoring a mid-range bucket along with 2 3-pointers. With this, the Dragons led 22-18 at half. The third quarter was more scoring for the Dragons, as junior Brendan Jones and senior Dylan Bodingheimer converted layups. Senior Cam Sutton and junior Andrew Bryant also contributed 3-point baskets of their own. This extended the Dragons' lead to 10 as they went up 40-30 after the third quarter. In the fourth, the Dragons held the ball and protected their lead, but Andrew Bryant added a 3 to keep the lead at 10 as Lake Orion won 51-41.
The team, we came out, we matched their intensity and executed offensively. And then defensively, we had a lot of guys step up who don't really usually play a lot of minutes, and just delivered. Guys were setting me screens and finding me off of them, and I was just finishing the play.
The boys' varsity basketball team's next game is Tuesday when they play at Bloomfield Hills. For WDBC, I'm Adam Schrader.
The boys' basketball teams travel to Bloomfield Hills on Tuesday. That's all for today's LO Sports Report. For WDBC, I'm Delaney Lucas.
Guys, what happened to the... Oh my God, get off of your phone. Jake, off your phone. Jacob, off your phone. Jor, off your phone. Okay, now focus.
Hello, Lake Orion. I'm Jake Jor, and welcome to an extra special edition of LOIQ. LOIQ being our very own trivia show on LOAM, featuring contestants from around our school. Today, our contestant is junior Brendan Franz. How are you doing on this fine day, Brendan?
Amazing.
Fantastic. Well, Brendan, I'm sure you know how this game works. I'm going to ask you 3 trivia questions. If you get 1 question correct, you will receive a free cookie from the school store. If you get 2 questions correct, you will receive a free lanyard from the school store. And if you get all 3 questions right, you'll receive a free Jets pack from Jets Pizza. Just for playing today, you'll receive a free beverage from the Rita Latte Cafe in the LC. Because today is Sellout, our questions will be themed around Sellout for Soldiers, the charity this event is for. Are you ready, Brendan?
Yes.
All right. Question 1. What is the name of the program Cell Phones for Soldiers uses that provides minutes for calls? Is it A, Minutes That Matter, B, Calls to the Deployed, C, Cell Phones for Soldiers, or D, Soldiers Calls?
A, Minutes That Matter.
That is correct. All right, Brendan, question 2. What year was the Minutes That Matter program founded? Is it A, 2014, B, 1987, C, 2004, or D, 2010?
I'm going to go with D, 2010.
I am sorry, that is incorrect. And if any viewers at home were thinking 2015, well, that is the year Lake Orion High School began the Sellout event. The actual program and charity began in 2004. All right, Brendan, your final question is, how many minutes has the Minutes That Matter program given to soldiers over the year? Is it 300 million, B, 800,000, C, 2 million, or D, 4.5?
A.
That is correct. They have provided well over 300 million minutes for soldiers. Well, Brendan, you got 2 out of 3 questions correct, so you will receive a free lanyard from the school store. Thanks for playing with us today, Brendan. Would you like to give anyone a shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out the leadership class for a great sellout event today, Mr. Hostler's 4th hour AP English class, and you for being an amazing host.
Why, thank you. If you'd like to be on LOIQ in the future, simply tweet us at DragonCast with the hashtag LOIQ, or email us at dragonbroadcasting@LOK12.org. That's all I've got for you today, Lake Orion. See you later. For WDBC, I'm Jake Jor.
As we wrap up the 2020 edition of Sellout, we wanted you to hear from Robbie Berquist. He's the founder of the Cell Phones for Soldiers charity. He was here today to witness the event. He had to leave moments ago to catch his flight home, but we were able to talk to him about what Lake Orion High School does for his organization.
Back in 2004, Cell Phones for Soldiers was started when a soldier from Iraq was calling home to his loved ones, and he rung up an $8,000 cell phone bill calling home My sister and I, 12 and 13 at the time, realized that this wasn't right, that he's protecting our freedom and that he shouldn't have to pay such large cell phone bills. So we jumped into action in our hometown of Norwell, Massachusetts, and held car washes and bake sales in order to pay off his cell phone bill. And from there, we decided that we would start a program to make sure that no soldier or service member ever had to pay for a phone call home again. It's a great sort of experiential time for you guys, but also understand that the donations that come after it that go towards our mission are used to provide these phone cards for military members overseas. So you guys are making an impact today, and so it's just awesome to see. I'm very excited to be here and see all the great stuff that you guys are doing.
Your seniors of the day are Lydia Hansen, Adam Finley,
Noel Hoth, and Ethan Sekinen. Tune in on Tuesday for part 1 of a series on how college athletes might be getting paid. Make this Friday a great one, Lake Orion.